Hello, ladies and gentlemen, esports enthusiasts. This is our last week of Highlander. And joining me tonight is Insomnia. Say hi, Insomnia.
Hi, Insomnia.
Oh my god. Anyway, I am Atwas, and tonight we are casting Curse of Knowledge versus 92 Dream Team. On our last map of the season, that would be CP Vanguard. Actually, RC3A, an update rolled out today that fixed, I believe, some issues with the last point.
It wouldn't be TF2 if it wasn't like last update at the last second for the last match. It just, it's tradition.
It really is, though, when it comes down to it. And here it is. There are no playoffs this season, something that I know a lot of players have expressed some, not so much happiness with. But as it stands, here we are, and I'm ready for some esports. And Insomnia, I'm gonna ask you to throw out some opinions of this map. I know you've been watching some people play it so far. What do you think?
I've never played this map myself, and I've never seen it until tonight. So I took myself through a little tour before the match started, and before Scrim started, because I got to see some players play for about 10, 15 minutes. And it looks a nice choke pointy map. Nice might not be the word for that, but I don't know. There's a very short. It's one of the shortest 5 CP maps I've ever seen. Like, it looks, if you lose second, you might immediately lose last. So I wouldn't expect to see too many forward holds on second. But the third looks kind of interesting. It seems like really wide open. I saw a lot of huge soldier bombs. So at least the skybox is high. We're going to see a lot of action up there. There's kind of an interesting little architecture up in the middle on 2 points. So it lets some high flyers do some things. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But at the same time, there's a lot of corridors. There's a lot of spam points. And pushing into last looks like it's going to be pretty difficult. You've got 3 ways in. On actually most parts of this map, you've got 3 ways in. But especially on that last area, it's going to be quite difficult, but looks like we are going live here, so we're going to see how it plays out. All
right. Looking at the midpoint, we do see both teams tend to roll out this sort of a center entrance right here, main, and we do have some early bombs coming in here. Blue Soldier trying to get in there on something. He gets quite denied. Traffic gets taken down really early. That's a good sniper kill, as well as Space Ghost Coffee. So we just have a lot of back and forth. Nobody's really crossing the point. Nobody's putting a whole lot of pressure. People just trying to get in on 92 Dream Team right now. It looks like the other team is just going to throw their flank over there. Not much is going on. One of these powers is running the detonator. That would be Kairu. And I believe this point might go to 92 Dream Team as they will aggress across the point with their combo, try and throw a bit more damage out. And we do have both medics on Medigun. Both medics actually are still up, which is kind of surprising. The Uber finally does get popped out. Counter Uber as well, both onto the respective demos, and not much is going to be really happening here. Ooh, really nice headshot from Fairoffer onto Little Death, the engineer, right there. And it looks like finally, after a lot of scrappy fighting, Red might finally take this? I believe so.
Looking that way, they had some players at the flank. Deathy, before the Uber got popped off, was flanking with the Red Scout, Trippa, I believe, and they were kind of turning some heads, which allowed them to put some point on some time on the point, but looks like they couldn't even finish that initial cap. There's a lot of just fighting going on. People trying to go for like the DM frag fest, it looks like.
Absolutely, and it looks like the blue team is really getting the better of that right now. Slemish is gonna take someone out and go and try and recap this point. So it looks like 92 Dream Team will kind of be pushed back here into trying to defend this sort of lobby, maybe second area.
However, right now setting up to try and stop them from setting up. He's like a little spy flank action. We can't find exactly where they're trying to set up because, like I said before, it's kind of hard finding a point. You want either a forward aggressive hold or you kind of retreat back to last. That's what it's looking like.
Absolutely. He might actually have eyes on Sky here. He's trying to get through here. Nah, it looks like he might be able to whips a stab and makes it out. Sky's actually going to be taking her demo in. It looks like they might be a little bit aggressive. They know they have significant Uber advantage, like 50% going on here. And so they're going to be looking for a push pretty soon. Carl did go down within the last stages of, that last push onto mid from the other team. And so I'm going to be looking for a lot of aggression here. We do have Solo over here taking the high ground. Oof, gets absolutely body shot by the Machina. Good shot by Space Ghost Coffee. And we are going to have Deathy pushing in with Sky and his Scout moving in onto mid. And that'll be an easy cap. No Uber needed to be used. And so we get to wait, have the other team regroup, and maybe push back in with an Uber of their own.
That was really smart to see the Curse of Knowledge actually back off there, not overcommit, because, and I think that's something that we're going to see repeated throughout tonight, is that people aren't going to really stay past their welcome point without knowing this map really intimately.
Absolutely, for sure. We do finally have a push onto second. it does look like 92 Dream Team's going to be moving it there. Sky still has not popped Uber. We do have a soldier down here. Solo is kind of stuck underneath the point. And finally, the Uber gets popped out. Carl's going to go in on a soldier, save him. And actually, Banny and Solo are going to take on quite a few people over here, but not before Space Ghost Coffee takes out that soldier, and the counter gets popped out from Sky. So she's going to take... Oh! Ah, that pipe was dirty. Deathy got taken out by the heavy. Kairu got the other one, and what looked like could have been a really good push from 92 Dream Team just sort of ended up failing as Vanilla Love gets taken down in that aftermath, and Farraffer just going nuts. Gets a nice headshot onto Scruff McGruff, the other team's spy.
There were just so many ways in right there. They had to divide their team up in order to not all get kind of throttled down by Banny's spam, and as well as Solo, who came in just before they were forced to Uber. And with like splitting their team up, as soon as they had the Uber out and Catsy went down, Sky was left all alone and could not escape.
And we do have a back and forth. We do have a pretty nice sort of, I wouldn't say forward, but at least some sort of defense set up here on second, as Blue already managed to cap mid. Definitely going to be throwing out a lot of spam, but Slumnish and Solo, the flank, is just going to be doing a number over here onto 92 Dream Team. They really need to shut that down, because if allowed, they will definitely run rampant, and Solo finally does get taken out, but Ender and Banny picking up 2 frags onto Scruff and Deathy. That'll be a big one. Without a demo up, they'll be able to push basically right into as soon as they get Uber, and actually Carl does get Uber right there, 50% advantage.
One thing that I found interesting about this map is that it looks like one sniper can hold down 2 of the entrance points, as we saw Coffee Corner take out 2 players before Ender kind of snuck around the left side and take him out.
Oh my god, that blue spy, he had eyes on Sky, but got this... not quite working out, got Saffrix instead, but I think that was enough of a distraction to allow the blue team to sort of push in here and grab that point without using their Ubers, so that means Carl will just be able to move in with Banny and with another player and get right in here. As we see, the defending engineer is on Mini, so that's not much of defense going on, and this last point, oh there we go, Sky Mini just pop out her Uber as well, so there's quite a bit of carnage going on. Farraffer goes down, gosh, a lot of people though on the defending team are bleeding out, but Banny is also a pretty good pick, as is Slemnish, because that's one thing about this map is that last cap's so fast. It's kind of ridiculous.
Especially for how short a distance it is if you take that left passageway, and the left, you can be there within like 5 seconds in some of the slowest classes, so it's a little interesting they chose to have it cap that quickly, but it does make sense why the engineer, I think it was Little Death, tried to go many sentries, because you don't have a whole lot of time to set up on this map. It's so short.
Oh, for sure. And I really enjoy the back and forth, but when it comes down to it, if it's that short, that just means that the momentum gets carried forward that much easier. Deathy gets taken down, Kairu gets taken down, oh, Vanilla gets taken down. Oh my god, this frag streak. Sky actually gets headshot by Farraffer there as well, and that is only 2 up. That would be Space Ghost Coffee and Scruff McGruff on 92 Dream Team, and that was a baller push.
Yeah, just Scruff now. The second point cap's pretty slow, but they've got people on. They've got Solo set up to kind of spawn camp a little bit. We're going to see how successful that is. 3 big direct rockets takes out Deathy. That's going to be another really good pick, as they are on the point, and that's all they need was one person just to kind of stall that out, one person to camp.
There it goes.
And Curse of Knowledge did come right off the heels of a scrim, so they kind of, even if they didn't know this map prior to this week, they definitely were a little bit more warmed up. I don't know if 92 Dream Team was scrimming this or anything like that, but they went right from a scrim right to this match, so it definitely showed right there.
For sure. And just with how this map goes, there really isn't any room to make any sort of mistakes. Alright, here we go. Solo jumping in big, not really doing quite much of anything except sort of scouting out what's going on here. Both medics still on Medigun. A little bit of fighting going on here. Spy's getting ready to go behind. Scruff McGruff actually gets found out by Slumnish, and it looks like Blue's just taking the much more aggressive stance here, and they're just, Red's gonna be punished for it. With already 3 people down, there's Scout, the Pyro, and the Spy. It looks like that'll be a definitive mid-take. Ooh, Banny getting taken out there last second by Deathy, but that's still a mid-cap.
It looked like both teams are going to realize you want to get your soldier and your demo up to the kind of right-hand side of your push when you roll out, and they both did it was kind of mirror images as they were both posturing for a little while, which is kind of interesting to see, but it looked like Solo kind of had the edge in to actually get some frags, put some damage, and get it cleaned up before Banny went down.
Ah, the big force coming out from Solo actually jumps Sky, gets her down super low, I believe, to about 60. Force that Uber. We do have a spy moving into position. Will we get it? Oh my god, I believe. Nah, not
Some good
quite
plays
happening.
earlier, but it wasn't quite necessary right now since they do have that full Uber advantage. They have lost a couple players, so they're going to back up, heal up, take out that mini sentry, and kind of just let their players regroup, get the players back up that they need right there. They lost their heavy. I think we just got back. Oh no, Pals actually. Right as I say that, Deathy takes him out. They're going to have to back out on the midpoint after that.
Yeah, and you know, even if Curse of Knowledge's flank is punishing 92 Dream Team, 92's combo is definitely seeming to be going over Curse of Knowledge's right now, as Benny and Pals got taken out really early there and really sort of just lost that positioning for their team. They're going to regroup, and Carl does have Uber. He pops in on his demo, Benny, and he's moving in. Deathy actually gets taken out with a really nice headshot by Fair Rapper there, and that'll be a really nice defensive Uber. But they're really going to have to move forward if they want to take any more ground. As Sky is approaching Uber right now, they're going to need to get a force off her or a kill or something.
Yes, 77% advantage in just the last 3 goals. Actually, Carl Sagan did go down, so it's going to be complete full Uber advantage over to 92 Dream Team. But meanwhile, it looks like CK are actually still pushing in here. And surprisingly enough, 92 are kind of backing off, getting a little bit more defensive. I wonder if they kind of reported the medic went down right there, because it would have been a lot more aggressive in their shoes.
Their players responding, I believe, and just coming up. They didn't quite have the positioning, I don't think, to cover all 3 doors, which are giant. Like, for how small and short this map is, it's definitely makes up for its size and wideness, I suppose.
Uber does come out from Sky, though. They're going to push in here. Nice scout lead in, flashes in the demo, jumps in, puts up a couple stickies down. Benny backs up wisely and tries to meet up with Carl Sagan, who is kind of hesitant to join them. They're kind of, I don't know if they've learned maybe the forward hold wasn't working so well. It looks like they're going to back pedal all the way to second because they've lost 3 players.
I think they might actually be able to, and we do have Deathy being aggressive and jumping in. He likes to do that a lot. Fanny is punishing that, though. He took out the sniper, so that's going to be a pretty big advantage for his team. And as we say that, the Curse of Knowledge spawns actually come out, and they're going to be able to take a lot more ground here. And a lot more aggressive jumping. Solo going in there and managing to get the pick on Sky while Slemnish gets in on Deathy. That's pretty huge, and they'll probably be able to take ground off that.
Looks like Catsy was trying to flank in there with Slemnish, kind of put some more pressure on him. So they're fighting No Love, who's busy eating a sandwich right now. That's not going to help him as he goes down to a big double meat shot from Slemnish. And that's about even players. It's going to allow Curse of Knowledge to move up on the middle point. And 92 Dream Team have coffee right there, trying to get the snipe. Misses 1-2 shots on Slemnish, which is jumping around. But Trip is going to come in here and try and clean up on some of that damage.
Absolutely, Banny getting taken out there, so that'll be a little bit of an obstacle to moving forward, especially with Pals down as well. That's an entire combo that just kind of doesn't exist right now. But it looks like 92 Dream Team is sort of just really spread out over here. Not quite sure how where their flank is playing or their combo. They finally managed to get the cap, and it looks like they're going to be moving forward to a, I guess, pretty decent forward position, as Curse of Knowledge is going to back off quite a little bit.
Yeah, Curse of Knowledge holding the right side there on their side with the mini sentry and a sniper. I think was like kind of their main setup. But sentry went down really quickly to death. They're going to come up here, 85% Uber, slight advantage. Probably I'd still put this a little bit. They're just going to pile on as they see CK immediately kind of go back because they know they're at a severe disadvantage. Banning at really low health as well.
Yeah, for sure, and kind of a pretty nice dry push in there. Deathy just throwing out a lot of damage and being followed up on, and Spy's going to be taken out as well. So it looks like we're looking at another last push, which is going to be great because both medics do have 100% Ubers, so we're going to be waiting for a definite more advantage thing. Blue's actually holding very forward in this upper sort of lobby area by the main entrance, and so they're ready to sort of jump down should anything happen. They're not going to allow Red to take that high ground.
Looks like both teams are running mini sentries. I wasn't looking at it before, but Ender set up a mini sentry in a slightly different spot. It looked like the upper ridge was the one to hold, but he just threw it right on the point to kind of cover all 3 doors, which is kind of difficult. But Coffee's going to peek in here, miss a shot on Solo, and it looks like both teams are posturing, but the 92 Dream Team, losing 2 players, are going to have to wait for them to catch up position-wise before they push in here.
Oh man, Vanilla went down to like 47 before getting out and eating a sandwich. So close.
Oh, that was harsh right there. Banny had set up a nice little sticky trap, and I think Sky saw it, but called it just a little too late, and Deathy went down. And without their demo, it looks like they're getting a little comfortable pushing out here to CK anyways. Getting a Lair Blast right back in, as I say that, though.
Absolutely. Scruff McGruff taking advantage of that, getting a nice pick onto Solo. Cyber's getting taken out by Pals, and the Uber does come out from Sky. but it doesn't matter because Carl has a counter Uber of his own, and with a demo, they're going to be much faster. But Kairu is here, and Kairu's just going to air blast as much as he can, leave Vanilla Love to sort of die over here, and Pals gets down, and in the aftermath.
Someone snuck behind there. Looked like Trippa got behind, turned them all back. It was about even player advantage. I think actually CK had the better player advantage until they turned around and got the cleanups.
Gotcha. And so, with Sky staying alive, I don't think there's any way that CK is going to be able to push this unless they get a really good pick on her.
It's going to be difficult. Both demos setting up traps in the exact same spots on the opposite side of the wall. It was kind of a cheeky little maneuver there, but they do seem to be rotating over to the left side. It looks like a more comfortable way to come out from last. You have a little bit of height advantage, and you can't be spammed as much in there. But trying to come out with Uber, as we saw, it's just going to get air blasted right back in.
Yeah, with 3 picks in quick succession, it does look like 92 Dream Team is posturing to sort of come out here. Hal's putting a lot of pressure on here, but it looks like Sky's just going to pop on a Trippa and sort of move on to the point. With a lot of pressure from the Soldier as well. Carlson gets headshot out of the air by Space Ghost Coffee, and that is going to be a nice cap for 92 Dream Team.
It's good to see there's just a back and forth on this, because I was a little hesitant. 92 Dream Team did look a little weak in that very first round. I think they're getting comfortable with the map now. They kind of figured out their corners. They figured out the play styles of the mids especially, because they held out that mid a lot longer.
Oh, for sure. Alright, coming up onto the second mid, we're going to see a lot more movement from both flanks, thankfully, from 92 and from, here we go, Solo jumping in right away, trying to get something done. Farah for getting, you know, just, an early pick onto Deathy. That was a really nice headshot, and Slemnish taking down Safrix. So that is the 92 Dream Team flank pretty much down, and it's going to be a repeat of the last mid where they're just sort of trapped in lobby and they can't really move.
Yeah, Solo's been jumping in there, and his first bomb, he put a nice, 120 some odd damage on both Sky and Deathy. And then Deathy kind of had to back up, heal up, and as soon as he poked his head out again, the sniper took him out, and that just kind of slowly paved the way as another rocket kind of ping Sky, but she did back out with full Uber, so they're going to have that to come out, probably try and contest this soon.
Absolutely, and here we go, the Uber does get popped and forced. It's pretty even, but there's a lot more flashing on the 92 Dream Team side. Deathy's sort of caught out here in the cold, so I'm gonna be surprised. No, instead, Vanny actually gets taken down by Safrix. He sort of got bounced into the corner there by the rockets, but there's someone on last.
I'm liking that strat. It's going to pay off more eventually. It's nearly happened twice, and it's definitely turning heads every time it happens.
And here we go. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it does look like Deathy is kind of feeling confident right now. They have the player advantage. 4 players went down over there on the CK. Deathy looking good. Scruff McGruff also getting a nice pick there on Ender. Was trying to throw down some many sentries to halt that aggression. But right now, Vanny's putting up a little sticky trap, trying to hold mid. And I think they can do it. The players are going to spawn up any second now.
Absolutely, and honestly, if anything, I've noticed this map specifically, it just really favors aggressive play. Just aggressive, hard DM.
Yeah.
Because
especially at the mid.
There's just too many ways to get in. It doesn't favor the defense at all.
It's just there's nowhere to really sit up that is safe that can cover every angle. And while you don't want kind of one sentry to hold down the entire map, you want to feel at least somewhat effective. And I'm guessing that the engineers here are running many sentries because they just can't find a good spot.
Probably not. There are just so many angles to spam from, I wouldn't be surprised. Solo getting taken out by Trippa, and Farah for getting a pick onto Little Death, the engineer there. And we do have a Uber sort of, an even Uber situation, excuse me. And as I say that, Carl is actually going to pop here. I believe he got forced.
He got forced. He got on the left-hand side. They took some meaty spam, so he got forced out there. They did get one pick and a little bit of damage onto Scruff McGruff, but they just got cleaned up on. This guy's going to counter that, push into lobby with this Uber, take out Powell, and push right on into mid. Trippa looking really confident trying to chase down Banny.
Really strong pick there actually by Scruff McGruff, who took out Catsy super early on in that Uber to make sure that there wasn't going to be any sort of pyro shenanigans going on there. That'll be an easy cap, I believe, for 92 Dream Team. And I don't believe that Curse of Knowledge will be able to sort of even really hold second, at least that far forward as they wanted to.
It looked like they tried that the first round, but they quickly learned the wiser. You kind of got to hold back near, like, I guess, like the battlements area that for the right-hand side where that little gravel is. And Pals has been mainly staying on point to kind of bait out some damage, but here's a big jump in there by Saf, who immediately goes down to Slemnish, but took Banny down to 2 health in doing so.
kind of unfortunate. Scruff McGruff here playing the flank actually gets a pick onto Banny, but not before getting shotgunned down by Ender. That's still a pretty good pick, as most people are aware that Banny is kind of what you'd call a power player, especially when he's on demo. The Uber actually comes out from Carl, which leaves Sky with a really significant advantage unless she goes down really early, which she does not. She manages to hold on there.
That was an interesting Uber. I mean, they had lost both their explosive classes. Solo and Banny had gone down in really quick succession there. So it did seem to scare back the 92 Dream Team. But God, Verdwig and Slemnish apparently were on the flank, and I think maybe that's what happened. They saw a nice opportunity to kind of chase them back right into Slemnish and Verdwig.
Sky getting absolutely demolished right there. I believe that was a drop. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was a drop. And that'll be a nice recap for Curse of Knowledge, and they're going to be able to move forward here, throw a little bit more aggression out. I really like the way Cats has been playing with her flank for sure. She's been doing a good job keeping pressure on, especially.
It's definitely the map for Solo jumping in here, immediately takes 4 shots from 4 different players at the exact same time. But he's poking at that far left entrance and trying to kind of shut down that one little engineer setup that he put up. Wasn't able to do it. The Uber does come out a little earlier than I expected, but they were in lobby once again, taking Slemnish and Banny in there, cleaning up Deathy and Space Ghost Coffee before they kind of retreat back and regroup.
Scruff getting a drive-by on the pals. That was really nice, and Kyrie really kind of really held it down by M2ing that Uber into a corner. And so that's not going to actually take a lot of, not going to take a lot of ground for Curse of Knowledge, that's for sure. Sky stayed alive, she almost has Uber, and so I'm just looking for another push to come out aggressively. Another thing worth mentioning is that the Curse of Knowledge Spy has been just running Cloak and Dagger and doing a great job of calming. He's just intel right now. Oh my god.
Another drop right there. Got that sniper sideline. It's pretty minimal, but he made it work, taking out Sky once again, just as they had just got Deathy and the Trippa over there to try and take that in, which is going to be quite difficult now to even hold second, as they lost, I think, 4 players, 1 just spawned. They got 1 or 2 picks out of it outside of the Uber while that happened, but dropping 3 more players there. Catsy, Faroffer, and Val is just kind of cleaning up. It's going to be basically a free second if like Curse of Knowledge just kind of moves in here. It looks like they were a little hesitant for some reason, but they're on it now.
Absolutely. Definitely getting taken down once more as his medic was tangling and trying to back out. I think what's honestly happening a lot here is that a lot of 92 Dream Team seems to be playing a lot more aggressively than Sky's maybe comfortable staying in. As I say that, the Curse of Knowledge Uber actually comes in. Sky gets headshot right off the bat, and there's just going to be a lot of carnage on the point. That was a really, really just easy push there.
That was a savage last 2 points. It happened so quickly, and that's kind of what I thought looking at this map from the get-go. And they've kind of really solidified that point. And I think right now it feels like Curse of Knowledge is really getting a lot of momentum, and I think they're going to take this mid. That's my guess.
All right, I'll call you on that. You're probably right. We do have already the Curse of Knowledge flank is going in pretty deep. He's going to get a lot of damage onto Deathy really early on.
As well as Saf.
Soldier's trays. Yeah, Saf actually takes out Solo right there as well, and Pals is there to clean up the damage. Both medics still on Uber, so they're going to be sort of jockeying for the point, and actually Pals gets taken out by a really nice shot from Space Ghost Coffee, so that's going to be a pretty big advantage. Definitely jumped in here pretty deep, but he's going to be taken down by a mini sentry. Banny gets taken out. Snipers, Jesus.
Yeah, this is like the only real point, other than that kind of second little 2-door you can scope in on, that there is any real sniper play. As a sniper on last, there's not a whole lot to be done, but Faroffer takes out the red sniper as well, so it's gonna leave up enough players for CK to take this and to move on.
That was a really long mid-fight. We do have an engineer still in that is a little death. He finally gets taken down. Saffrix also gets backstabbed as well in the aftermath, but both medics managed to stay alive, so that'll be Sky and Carl, both with 100% Uber, so that means Sky at least will be able to defend this. Oh my god, Deer is moving in. Is he gonna get it? Nah, he's so close to the enemy combo. I'm sure he can almost taste the backstab, but here we go. Vanilla taking him down actually catches him out. So much for a good pick. But as that happens, it looks like the 92 Dream Team combo is actually stuck out in really bad position. Vanny's just gonna move in there and force the Uber, and Sky's gonna try and get in out there on Deathy, but Carl's ready with an Uber of his own, and it looks like Vanilla is gonna be caught in. Kyra actually going down there. Vanilla taking down Ender before dying, and someone is backcapping right now?
He's trying to backcap. It looked like it was going to work for a second. In fact, they kind of killed off enough players that I think it could. Yeah, there's no more blue players over there. Like, CK has completely abandoned second, moved back to kind of stop that. I wouldn't have risked that myself. That was a really kind of cheeky play there by Sav. He was a soldier with maybe 15-20% health and just kind of went back there, turned some heads, and now they're back at the mid fight again.
Yeah, can we talk about how Curse of Knowledge just kind of backed off completely? It was almost a little strange there, but here we go. 92 Dream Team sort of moving in here, being more aggressive, solo taking down Kairos. That's actually going to be a pretty big pick with all these chokes. You want to get the Pyro out of the way for sure. And Carl Sagan actually goes down as well, and so he's going to be spawning right about now, but that leaves Sky with about, 85%, 90% advantage. Not insignificant for sure.
Not at all, but they did, however, back up completely. There was a little bit of pressure there by Slemnish, and I think it was Pals. We're just at the door, but as soon as both teams saw each other, both ran away. It was a strange little kind of reverse limbo. I mean, they just completely forfeit lobby to each other, and I don't think anyone realized until just now, as the 92 Dream Team started edging back in. I think they realized they've got that full advantage. They're going to make it happen. Yet they pop in, narrowly got missed by a headshot there. Deathy as he jumps in. He reconnects this match just in time before Pals starts mowing damage into him, and nearly he's like surviving at 2 or 3 health each time now.
Shoutouts to Saprix for actually using the base jumper. That's kind of interesting. He actually gets taken out by Katsy, and there is a really strong hold here on lobby, but it looks like they're going to back out. They know they have the Uber advantage, so maybe if they can bait 92 Dream Team into sort of pushing in, they can capitulate off that. Deer actually gets caught out again by Kairos, doing a good job of protecting their combo. But there's going to be a pretty solid hold here for Curse of Knowledge on second, I believe.
It's looking like it's Solo starting to peek in here, put a little damage onto Little Death. And they're starting to back out of lobby right now, actually. It's strange to see. There's so many tight spaces and so many walls that the splash damage is completely destructive. It's kind of absurd how afraid these players are to kind of stay in lobby with how compact it is.
Oh, for sure. As well as there are so many sightlines into lobby. Oh, man, the Uber does get popped out over here. And there's going to be quite a bit of carnage. Deathy picking up a frag onto Katsy, and he's just going to be plus forwarding into spawn right there. And there's really not that much ground taken, however. This guy's actually going to drop down to 20 health from an errant rocket. And it's just, it's scrappy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It looked like a couple players in there really were pushing in that left side, making them stop the defensive setup and try and go for that, I think the Banny pick is what it was looking like to me. They were really focusing damage. They didn't get it, but in turn, they were all chewed up and had to back up. And I all had to go rotate right. And this kind of this box over here where so many people go down every time they try and push that. I'm surprised they're trying to get it again. I mean, they're at 75% Uber. It's about even right now. But it does look like CK has backed off to last, so they're going to get it.
Oh, for sure. As you were talking, there's actually a lot of bleeding going on from Curse of Knowledge. Katsy went down, just a lot of people sort of bleeding out right there, and so this will be a pretty good push here, and there he goes. Sky does pull out the Uber. Deer trying to go in for the last minute pick just got absolutely demolished, and the Uber does get popped out from Carl Sagan as well onto his Pyro. Katsy's gonna M2 get a lot of stuff done right there, and Scruff gets taken down in the aftermath as well, so what could have been a pretty good push, it just didn't quite happen. Maybe it wasn't soon enough, maybe they didn't wait enough.
It's just hard to get in there, and I think they were a little distracted by that Deer attempt, but what happened right there? Faraffer taking out the copy. But Sky's running solo right now, trying to meet back up with Katsy, so clearly dropped 1 or 2 players. But Deathy went down, as did Vanilla Love. That's going to be a free push out on the second for CK.
Absolutely. Pal actually just came up there and mowed down the combo. It was quite a sight to see, and so that'll be a easy second cap for Curse of Knowledge, as they're all just going to pile on that point there. And both medics are actually exactly even on their Ubers, so we're looking for some sort of pick, some sort of advantage, anything at all whatsoever. Lobby, once more, is sort of a no man's land. We do have Little Death setting up a sentry over here, trying to get a little bit more done, a little bit of flank pressure from Curse of Knowledge, but as it stands, not too much is going to be happening right now.
Right now, like, Curse of Knowledge is kind of parking the bus. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the map time, so maybe they feel confident just going to sit here, let 92 Dream Team push in on them.
I mean, could be, and it does look like they are the more impatient of the teams, that's for sure. But as I say that, Solo and Slemnish pick up some nice frags, Benny takes down Scruff McGruff, and they really should reconsider their aggressive stance in lobby right here, because without a pyro, and without a sniper as well, that was a nice pipe onto Space Goes Coffee by Banny, they should really just back up to mid and sort of hold it out for a little while. Until their spawns get back.
Get one or two decent picks. They took out Faroffer and Solo in that little push, but they're kind of edging back in the lobby now. They have 100%. It's dead even Ubers right now. And CK holding pretty far back, so I think they're parking the bus.
Could be. Deathy's trying to throw some spam out there, but maybe we're getting a commitment over here onto right side. There we go. Sky finally pops her Uru. Deathy promptly jumps in, gets a little bit disconnected, and it looks like Carl's gonna pop in on his scout as well. Manilov takes down Pals, and a sort of heavy beef heavy going on, and there's a lot of fighting going on here in the flank area. And finally, Trip is gonna take down Slemnish after winning the sniper duel, and I believe 92 Dream Team might be able to take the second point, especially Manilov heading up that cap time finally, but there's gonna be a repush on here by Curse of Knowledge, and he might get the cap. There's definitely gonna be a recap happening real soon.
I'd imagine so. Vanilla Love single-handedly taking that point, taking that there's one little area you can hide and not get any kind of view of sidelines on. But he was constantly checking his back because Deer was trying to get him for a good 10 seconds there. But Saf stayed behind, tried to take out Solo, got him down to about 15 health before he went down, but it bought enough time to let 92 Dream Team come in and start this last angle for a last push with 20 seconds left in the map time.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're going to be going pretty aggressive here. We do have Vanilla playing a little bit more on the flank. And he's just absolutely demolishing Little Death as he ran at the corner right there. And we do have Deathy trying to throw out some sort of spam. Space Ghost Coffee taking out Farah, so that's going to be something right there. Ooh, Slemnish getting Deathy, and then Sky just running in there and absolutely wiping the floor. Carl just Ubering on point, and the time runs out, and there it is.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. I knew they were parking as soon as I didn't get to say it earlier, but the Ender, finally we got to see a level 3 sentry be put up. I was kind of surprised to see myself, but it was right in that spot where it looked like if you could get it up in time, it might be worth it. I think that's why they had started playing a little bit further back. They'd given up on that little mini sentry hold on the right side that both teams have been attempting every single round, so that's how it ended up how that played out. But I mean, these teams have looked fairly even, and as aggressive as both teams are, it seems actually been paying off. I need to Dream Team a lot more. I think it's just the Uber trades that aren't kind of happening in their favor. Carl Sagan has really been sitting on his Ubers, really milking them to the last second, and I think that the Uber exchanges have been more in the favor of CK.
Yeah, I'm checking out these logs right now, and leading in frags right now, Banny with a big 34, and Space Ghost Coffee not far behind with 32. And definitely throwing out a whole lot of damage, both demos top damaging for their teams respectively, and Solo actually throwing out there with a really nice 362 DPM. So that's going to be a big advantage for his team as he plays pretty aggressively.
I thought that when I first looked at this, it looked like the sniper sidelines were going to be a little weak, but to hear that Faroffer's doing that much, or Space Ghost Coffee is doing that much, it's a little surprising. It's really tough sidelines to work with, but I guess there is that little right side on second that he's been cozying up on.
Most definitely. Honestly, like, what are you looking at with these teams? What do you think needs to be changed here? Because 92 Dream Team just can't seem to get a handle on these mids, you know?
They kind of had one on the first, but it's really, you got to stop Solo. He's shutting down their team every time. Every mid, he jumps in the exact same spot, and he spams in a rocket before he can be seen, puts some damage, backs them off. I'm wondering if maybe they need to try a push kind of from one of the other sides. I mean, they're kind of going for that mid-push rollout, which has not been working for them. They got out of it once when, like, basically their team did the exact same thing. It was kind of just a mirror image, little rotation, as we kind of see it happens on process sometimes, where both teams kind of just do that clockwise rotation. But aside from that, they gotta stop taking so much damage, because it's gonna be Banny, it's gonna be Solo jumping in on that same little left-hand side each time.
Oh, for sure. And just watching them two Dream Team, it just seems like they want to keep trying to get onto that high ground to the right of mid, but with Solo jumping so aggressively and with Slemish backing him up, there's just no way they can sort of get out of that choke. I want more.
This time, Solo actually did not make the jump, and he goes down immediately. It looked like, if anything, Sap kind of did what he was doing in the last couple matches, or last couple rounds, and he went in, also went down, but he did kind of back the team up, just kind of as they had happened to them previously.
Absolutely. Coming in here, we do have a Scout. He was trying to get behind there, but that didn't quite work out. Trippa getting demolished. Oh, Farah for getting a really nice headshot onto Deathy, as well as, ooh, Space Ghost Copy following up with one of his own onto Ender. And so we do have a pretty decent cap there for the blue team right there, and they're probably going to be able, 92 Dream Team is probably going to be able to set up some sort of defense over here. No love, nah, not quite AFK. Both medics are on Uber, both are at 100%, and we're just gonna see who can make their aggression work a bit more, and my bet is definitely on Curse of Knowledge right now.
I'd probably have to agree with you right there. I was a little surprised because it looked as if anything that they had the player advantage to keep that, but as far back as they're playing right now, they did just lose a couple more players, then it's going to be a free second. Oh god, Deathy going down to a big headshot by Farapper, takes a little more damage, but Vanilla Love goes down as well. It's like, poor Sky is left all alone with nobody, getting body blocked by Slemish. That is awful to see. It could be a really, really fast cap. There's 10 seconds left on 3 of these respawns. They've got the second point. They should take off the Uber and it's free. Yep, there it is.
I'm honestly surprised that Sky managed to surf out of that like she did, but there was no way. Let's be honest right here.
Just kind of odd positioning, I guess. I feel they didn't even need to give up that mid fight. I mean, they had better player advantage. They may have lacked one of the heavier classes that they wanted. Maybe their main color. I'm not sure. It's going to be hard to see. Here we are back at mid. Vanny here first. Deathy put down some stickies and trading a little bit of damage. No big jumps from the soldiers yet. As I say, that Solo comes in, going on the right side this time.
Yeah, Deathy doing a lot of aggressive jumping right there. Trippa gets taken down really early, and so does Slemnish, but Solo's actually going to be in here towards that. We actually have Little Death running level 3s, which is kind of interesting. Scruff getting a pick onto Ender right there, and onto Solo with a really nice headshot. And so they need to get out of lobby. They have a significant player advantage. They just need to move forward.
It was the exact same players they had lost last time. They lost 3 of theirs, and CK had lost 4 of theirs, but they backed up, and they had the player advantage, and they actually had the health advantage too. Sky keeping the players much more buffed up than Carl Sagan had been, and they have the Uber advantage now, so they are going to push out. Deer goes for a pick, misses that. You know, Love, very, very wise to his cheekiness at this point.
Shenanigans, one might call them. Both medics at 100%. We are going to see the same sort of setup that's been happening, and I'm kind of going to look for, there we go, the flank going in there, but Pal's going to get headshots. Solo's going to get absolutely demolished by those stickies. Deathy threw out, but Saprix is going to get taken out as well as he tried to get aggressive onto Banny, and he just said, nope, absolutely not.
Pals and Solo, those are good picks though. I wanted to see a little bit more aggression, and they are moving on the left-hand side, but it's really dangerous. Yeah, Sky took a little bit of splash damage and very wisely popped right there. Banny was just throwing pipes down. Counter Uber does come out there. A little bit of Uber here. A little flash to Cats. They chases them back, but there's still player advantage. They need to be aggressive now.
Catsy wanted to go in, but there's a level 2 sentry either way. It didn't quite work. They might have actually been able to get a bit more frags, but I believe Catsy air blasted them and managed to surf out of the way. And that is a lot of people going down for Curse of Knowledge. Pals gets taken out by a headshot from Scruff McGruff, and both medics are still up, but this is definitely going to be in the advantage of 92 Dream Team. They already have second pretty much capped. Deathy is already here trying to throw some cities out onto point. Kairo's going to be moving in as well. There is a level 1 Wrangled sentry in sort of the regular spot, and maybe they'll be able to get in here, but no, Sky's going to back out. Scout tried to get in here. Deathy is still playing just so aggressively. He finally gets taken down by Pals.
They're trying their all. It looked like Trip was trying to get on the point, kind of out of the sideline of that Wrangled mini-sentry, but as soon as it got wrangled, he was a little worse for wear. It looks like, actually, both teams, Little Death has also gotten to level 3, set it up right outside that left side door on second. So it's going to be difficult to push out of that, and CK has been favored coming out of their left side, so we'll see if we can cover both angles.
Absolutely. There's a level 3 up for Curse of Knowledge. I don't know why that name keeps slipping out of my head. And worth noting is that Carl actually did go down, so he is at a significant disadvantage when it comes to holding, but he seems to have found himself a pretty nice spot there to hold on the left side, which is pretty protected from most sort of pushes. And here we go, the Uber does come out from Sky. Deathy's gonna try and focus down that sentry. It finally does go down. Pharaoh after, however, taking down Manolov into Carnage, Slemnish taking down Kairu, and there's just a lot of back and forth going on here, and all the heavy classes, all the combo classes are pretty much down. 492 Dream Team. Little Death manages to save his level 2 sentry, and oh man, Deer's gonna try and go in for the pick maybe this time. I believe in him, as it looks like Sky's just sort of left with Space Ghost Coffee right now.
Trying to take out Deer, it looks like. This is a little strange 1v1. The ham has come out from Space Ghost Coffee. Meanwhile, blue team, CK, they've not been able to take out this sentry ban. He nearly goes down as he finally takes it out. That really held them at bay for quite some time. Like, Pals had creeped out, put a little damage on it, then immediately gone back. It wasn't until they were all distracted by Deer.
That was some Benny Hill stuff going on right
I didn't get to watch it.
Alright, jump in there. Savrik's trying to get something out, gets absolutely demolished. After landing a really nice headshot, but not before Katsy gets taken down. And Deathy actually gets the pick onto Fairaffer as well. And ooh, Space Ghost Coffee getting a dirty Machina shot onto Carl. That's going to be a pretty nice pick, and that'll let 92 Dream Team be a lot more aggressive, knowing that they can play their heals and get in there. With Sky having 90% lead, they may as well just move forward and make sure the point stays their own.
Deathy jumped in there, put in a lot of damage on that left-hand side, but he got shoot up. Finally reconnected with Sky. Looks like they're going to go for a right side Uber push this time, which I think might be kind of favorable. It's a little tough, but we're going to see it right now. Trippa getting flashed in, leading it in, and a little quick onto Deathy, but Katsy is there saying, no, you will not. That's one of the dangers of this map, is that one pyro can shut down an entire Uber in any of these entrances.
Absolutely, and while she was doing that, Fairaffer just mocking in Sky. It looks like there is no respite for medics tonight on this map, and Carl's gonna have a really solid Uber advantage. Benny takes down Kairu, the sentry's probably gonna go down as well, and Little Death is gonna probably want to just get out without a demo. With the heavy only sort of just now coming back into position, it looks like Person Knowledge is going to be able to take this lobby area and at least move on to point on that high ground.
Yeah, spawns are just now getting into lobby for 92 Dream Team, so it should be, unless they're going to get really aggressive and kind of dry push everything, as they kind of have in the past couple minutes, I think this should be a free point for CK's Pal. No, Deathy going to come in, spinning on top of Pal's head before he gets taken out, but along the left-hand side, we've got 3 players coming in from the flank. Triplet is all the way back towards last. He might be going for a back cap, because CK hasn't actually capped it yet. He does get caught out, though. Solo picks him up.
Darn, that is actually really disappointing. Scruff is in position to maybe follow up on it too. The dream would have been real, but
yeah.
Alas and alack, Carl does have 100% Uber, as does Sky right about now. But it doesn't look like any team is going to be pushing anytime soon. Cassie is still down, Slemnish is still down, and the power classes just came back up. Oh, dear! He tried it, he wanted it, he jumped down, decloaked in the air, and got skull cuttered. He almost got the backstab onto Sky. That would have been really sick.
This has been some of the best spy plays we've actually seen all season, except for some like the really better Akamuma matches. But Deer is kind of on fire tonight. He's just going for it. You know, it's his last match of the season. He's just having fun with it. He's going all out.
You just gotta get in there. You can't get the frags if you never try, yo.
Exactly. Katsy chasing off 2 people, taking out Kairu as Deathy. He starts getting chewed up as well, but she has to step back as Space Ghost Coffee comes and approaches. Actually, strange to see a sniper kind of from the aggressor to actually hold that little area over there.
I don't know, he's got the back of his combo, that's for sure. Deer finally gets a backstab onto Charippa there. So that is a pick. I don't know how significant of a pick that is, and he's actually just going to be standing around here trying to get an angle on another one. And Sky does have a minuscule Uber advantage, maybe about 20%. That could be enough to matter should Carl decide to capitalize on it. And here we go, Solo actually putting out a nice bit of damage into the flank there. But not before Kairu says, nope, how about you eat some of your own rockets, friend? And so we're just gonna play the game of who gets the best picks first.
Yeah, Scott definitely just called there. It looks like they had second-guessed themselves out coming out the right-hand side and rotating over to the left-hand lobby now. Coffee corner getting a peek out. No, it goes down to a trap from Banny. Sap is still there, trying to get some damage out, but the combo is rotated back over to the right-hand side. So This team's completely split apart right now, but they do have a couple picks. I wouldn't be surprised to see them moving on this.
I don't know, I think they're gonna pinch it. She has the Uber, Deathy's moving in, there's no solo, so there's not gonna be so much jumping going on. And we do have an early sentry getting taken down, so that means their scout is at least gonna be able to move in there, and he does get a little bit of time onto point, and the Uber does come out from both teams.
Sky got blasted out of the doorways, like from the second story, and surfed that. I don't know if she can actually escape. Where did she even go? That was completely absurd. Does get back in touch with Deathy. Both Ubers were popped about the exact same time. That was... I want to see that on replay after this.
Deer actually takes out Vanilla, so that's a lot of their sort of cleanup getting taken out right there. And Little Death is going to take out Katsy with his nice level 2 sentries, sort of just holding down the fort in lobby right here, but not before it gets sapped and taken down as well. So I think we're just going to see a reset. Banny did go down. He is getting his spawns right about now. And I believe, oh no, Slem is just in here. He wants the frag. He's gonna back right out. I don't think he could have gotten that. It just seems like 92 Dream Team backed out too fast for that.
Yeah, it seems like all it takes is one or two players kind of peeking their head in the doorway for an entire team to kind of pile back. Especially, I mean, when you want to play this safe of just under 20 minutes, right, under 19 minutes left in the match, you kind of want to play a little safe right now, especially when both Ubers are up.
Oh, for sure. We are seeing a bit more movement back into lobby from 92 Dream Team. They're going to be trying to go in, and here we go. The Uber does get popped out on both teams, both Carl and Sky on their respective demos, and Banny and Carl are actually going to go underneath with the scout, and boom, Slemdish gets Sky in the aftermath. And Saffrix goes down as well, getting taken out by Slemdish as two. Katsy actually gets taken down by the other team's sniper, so it's a good bit of carnage going down, but the main thing is that Carl managed to stay alive while Sky did not. There's a level 3 over here actually on the right side. Little Death's getting really aggressive with the sentry placement. Dear butter knifes Deathy, and this is just kind of a hot mess going on right now, not gonna lie.
With so many angles to come out, it's kind of what I expected from this map, and they're trying every single one of them. They're having a little split push as well. So it's really kind of hard to cover everything that's going on. Meanwhile, players kind of pushing in a run. This is really kind of a big surprise. They didn't have their spawns up with them, but I guess they just caught up, and Personage is going to kind of backpedal until they get their spawns up. Banny kind of retreating that back left-hand side, trying to stop them from coming in there. Oh, puts out a lot of damage on Seth.
Dude, I'm really digging this super aggressive level 3 play going on from Little Death. Oh, the big jump's going in from Solo. It looks like he's trying to get something done. It's enough to make Sky back off. Nope, not quite going down. He gets taken out. But the follow-up from Banny is going to take out Trippa. It's going to take Little Death. Deer gets a pick onto Deathy. And that is going to be Sky taken down by Slumdish as well, leaving Carl to just move in with his team. Kairu getting demolished as well and dominated. It is just Scruff McGruff right now, sort of in the game. Space Ghost Coffee running back to spawn. Maybe he'll try and get a cheeky headshot off, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
A quick sticky from Banny's gonna shut that one down. That was kind of impressive. That last little bomb in from Solo put out so much damage. One roller from Banny got triple K, which that's kind of fragile, at least as far as rollers go.
Really though. That was definitely enough to get them mid, and with the Uber, that'll definitely be enough to get them second, as the Uber does get popped pretty early onto Banny and Slemnish, but not too much ground is happening. Deer actually gets a pretty nice stab onto Saf right there, but not before Trippa takes down Pals, so that's going to be a lot of firepower that's sort of out of the way, but with Banny on that high ground, it looks like 92 Dream Team is just gonna have to back up to last.
They have to, without Seth and Deathy. Deathy just spawned Seth within a couple seconds. I'm surprised they didn't actually dry push into that, because there's a slight advantage on Sky, and it's gonna be their last-ditch effort. Oh, it looks like Solo and Katsy are going in here alone. The rest of the team is way far back. Katsy put out some damage, but she and Solo immediately went down. That was kind of a disjointed, unorganized play. I'm surprised they went for that.
I will spare you the pun that almost happened there, because it would have been just absolutely terrible. Finally, here we go. The Uber coming out from Sky, going out there. Deathy and her soldier are actually going to jump. Safford's running the direct hit. He's really been switching up his loadouts. I'm definitely digging it so far. But Deathy's actually going to go down. He's going to be punished for his aggression. And Space Ghost Coffee taking out Pals as well, so that's going to be pretty good. Caro goes down, and here we go, sort of a last-ditch hold going on here. A lot of aggression going on here. Maybe they can take down Vanilla Love, but he dropped down to maybe like 50 health before finally meeting back up with Sky, his medic. Ooh, Deer taking out Little Death, so he's going to try and get the back half. He's on the point. Not quite.
At the very least, he is going to get that sentry, which could allow for another attempt on a back cap.
True, that is true. Kyrie getting a kill onto Solo and Katzen following up. Pals getting a kill onto Deathy. Just people getting mowed out of the air. Trippa trying to do something going on, but Space Ghost Coffee gets a really nice headshot onto Banny, and so this is just kind of just some really scrappy play going on here. People trading left and right. Farrapper getting a pick onto Space Ghost Coffee, and they're just gonna 92 Dream Team's just gonna have to back up to last. They lost too many people. They bled too many people. But they have Uber to defend with, and that's kind of the important bit right now.
And right now, it looks kind of like Farrapper is kind of keeping them from even peeking out at this left-hand side. Every time they do, Daddy keeps taking shot after shot. I think that, yep, Kairu just went down from peeking a little too early. They gotta kind of play this a little bit safer. They do have a couple picks. Guy has full Uber now. They could do this. And I'd pop so early if I were her. Oh, she got disconnected a little bit right there from Deathy, but they finally do pop out, move on to that second point, start chasing people down. Space Ghost Coffee takes out Catsy. It's going to be 3 or 4 players down on Curse of Knowledge. But Blue drops. Oh. That's exactly what they needed. Space Ghost Coffee taking that threat out.
Absolutely.
They're still slow to come out.
Yeah, that's super important though, because Deathy got caught out really hardcore right there, and Vanilla actually got taken out by Pals, so without heals, they will have a chance to defend this. And if that had not happened, Last probably would have been down to the other team by now.
Some tight little opportunities that actually have come out. They just have not capitalized on them, but they have kind of saved themselves a couple times at this point. They're taking a lot of splash damage on this left-hand side. This Space Ghost Coffee mans up and stands on the point alone, just while the rest of his team is slowly piling up. It was strange to see a sniper scare down 3 or 4 players right there, but after the last like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, I'd be a little afraid of Space Ghost as well.
Yo, shout out to Kairu for just absolutely demolishing Solo on that one jump onto their combo right there, because he did not get anything done. Nice reflect, nice shotgun shot, and here we go. Pals goes down. Kairu and Safrix working together as a team, already on that midpoint, and they're just going to be trying to get into the other team as fast as possible. They know they only have so much time to get their Uber advantage, and here we go. Deathy jumping in super aggressively, trying to get some damage out. Not much is actually going to happen. It looks like he might be trapped in here by Slumnish and Banny, but nah, his team is going to back him up. But not before Carl is going to get his Uber.
Space Ghost is absolutely on fire right now. Takes out Farrapper and Scruff my bro. Oh, wow, he was waiting for that forever. I actually didn't think he was even going to try for it. I've been watching him in that corner for like 20 seconds ago. That's going to be enough picks actually moving on this. They just need to do it. And they do. They start piling at that right-hand door. Sab jumps in, gets a pick or 2 on Ender and the Sentry gun. And meanwhile, they don't even have full Uber right now. But Carl Sagan does. But they're going to back off, play this a little bit safe. Wait for those Banny and Slumnish spawns that they've been relying on this entire match. And they are all in position now. Would not be surprised to see an Uber come out. Solo jumping out, landing on Vanilla's head. Wow.
Oh my god. I didn't think he could get that, but he totally did. That was great.
I'm really surprised. Also took out Kairu with the splash damage. That was a sight to be seen. Solo got like basically a 3K right there. Teammates cleaned up on the damage, and they're just gonna have a free ride to mid right now. 6 players haven't gone down.
I am surprised they actually managed to hold on to that. Aw, man, that was a pretty nice shot there onto Trippa from Farrapper, but with all those players down, I was surprised they're gonna be able to just push right back out to mid as if nothing happened, and it looks like 92 Dream Team is just gonna hang out here on second, try and defend, or at least get Sky her Uber.
It should be doable. As I say that, they're popping really early before they could even be seen. I think because of the Space Ghost threat at this point. But Banny kind of coming in, laying down some damage, not getting any picks right now before he goes down to a big direct by Saf. It's kind of dangerous right now. I mean, they are in the lead. I would have played that a little bit more patiently. There's about just 11 minutes left in this match, which is going to put all of the aggression onto 92 Dream Team.
Oh my god, did you see that hiding spot? Solo almost getting the kill onto Sky, but she's gonna pop just in time to save herself. But that was a really good play by him, and it may just net them the mid right after this push.
It's looking like it. They are pretty chewed up right now, but I don't think that Carl Sagan just kind of connected with the combo there in lobby. So I think that either team could be the aggressor right now.
Oh my god, Katsy and the reflect on a Safrix, that was pretty dope, not gonna lie. Carl is gonna have a 40% Uber advantage, and so he's just gonna wait for his team. He's got the Medi Beam on Banny, he's buffing up Slumnish. It looks like they're gonna try and maybe go in soon. Ender gets taken out sort of last second, and Deathy is over here trying to ruin everyone's day, peeking really hardcore. And there we go, the Uber finally gets popped out from Carl. He's gonna go in, Banny's gonna jump pretty aggressively, take the high ground there. Kairu just gets headshot and demolished right there, trapped inside. Solo gets taken out, however, Saffrix is doing quite a bit of work, and Sky finally does get her Uber, but she is sort of alone right now with Saffrix and Deathy. Deathy sort of jumped away, so she needs to find a way to get out right here. Uncloaked! Oh, the dance is going on, the Uber Saw's out, I believe, but here we go, Slumnish is behind, so he's gonna try and get in on here, and it is just... Oh my god, Carl Sagan also got Deathy with the Uber Saw. What is going on?
This has been general chaos. Like the past 30 seconds, we had like 2 different flanks going on while Ubers were being exchanged. I'm surprised you didn't commentate any of that. That was so much action going on. And still, like, 92 Dream Team is staying committed, as they kind of have to at this point. They're just maybe thinking of getting out of lobby, but McGruff going behind. And yeah, they're going to have to forfeit it. There are too many players from Curse of Knowledge piling in there.
Oh, most definitely. And, you know, Carl has just been getting the advantage on his spawns. His team has been able to hold way better without him than Sky's team has been able to hold without her.
Sky goes
so,
down.
Oh
no.
my god.
Banny jumped in there so aggressively, just caught the tail end of her trench coat with the sticky bomb and blew her to pieces. That's going to be really difficult now. Full Uber advantage as they move on to last. Little spike gap going on. Cassie comes and stops it. So Kairu comes and stops it. But the Ubers come in. It's going to be difficult. They've thrown down many sentries, but it's not going to be enough.
Ooh, I don't know. Space Ghost Coffee takes down Banny right there, and Deathy was actually jumped in behind the Uber, bounced them around quite a bit, so they might be able to actually defend this.
They got spawns right when they needed them.
Exactly.
I was not looking at the spawn timers, but right when they needed them, piled out of that doorway, and that just narrowly saved this from being a 2-0 game.
Absolutely. Shoutouts to Deathy for being so, how would I say, mobile?
Versatile.
I
I would say mobile as well. But I mean, not playing the kind of pocket style that we've seen him play in past games, and kind of the pocket style that Banny's been playing this game as well.
Slumnish getting in here on the combo. He's going to be pressuring really hard onto Deathy and onto Sky, but Kairu does catch him out before he manages to get anything.
We saw a big bomb there from Solo as well. Came back,
Whoa,
got one
whoa.
pick, and then started peeking in there. But it looks like they're trying to rotate onto the combo who are over there on the right-hand side. Solo puts out a little bit of damage, but can't quite get them. Meanwhile, the combo...
Oh my god, the drop down! I believe it's gonna happen. Vanilla Love is standing on top of this shutter.
Oh my, heavy drop down? Can it be done?
He manages to get Solo before backing up to his team, but he was standing there for quite a long time and he wanted it. Sky does pop her demo in, and Carl's gonna pop his subsequent demo and scout in, and oh my god, Sky's just absolutely caught out. Banny does get the kill, but not before she gets air blasted into the corner like crazy. There we go. Vanilla Love does get called out. He drops down and just gets shotgun to the face by Catsy. It was a cute play, but it was only going to work once.
It's a little bit in the favor of CK right now, player advantage-wise. The spawns did just come back up. Little Death had actually changed over to level 3, so they do have a much better defense here, but they can't bunker down for too long. It's just under 7 minutes left in this match, and they have to put a point on the board just to kind of tie this round, so it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, for sure. We're seeing a lot of back and forth going on in this sort of upper lobby area, but nobody's really exchanged anything. Sky needs to play maybe as passively as she can, because she is nowhere close to getting any sort of Uber. Slumnish goes down really early, but so does Vanilla Love, getting taken out by Banny, and Solo gets a nice rocket onto Kairu, but not before trading with Saffrix. So it's just pretty much 1-for-1 right now, and it looks like that exchange was even enough that... Dear, nice try. It looks like that exchange was even enough for Sky to get her Uber and maybe defend this better with.
Player advantage definitely on the side of the things. So I'm just kind of in awe right now. This is another one of those ones, like the 4th or 5th major moment that they had to capitalize on, and they have so little time to get things done. I don't know why this 92 Dream Team is not pushing out yet. They had Uber, they had 4 players down. I was at a loss for words for a second. They just don't feel safe or confident to take advantage of these small, I mean, they might be small and difficult, I mentioned, but right now Solo jumping in, putting down the sentry, throwing down some damage on the engineer, some time on the point. They just need like another little tick and they can get this. Deer trying to stay alive, on fire and cloak. Players dropping left and right on both teams, but it looks like somehow 92 Dream Team are gonna keep this.
Whew. Shout out to Pals for juggling people in the air as long as he did, but when it came down to it, it seems Sky just had the slightly better Uber and was just able to stay on point. And they focused that point, they didn't let anyone cap. It looks like Solo's gonna come in here and he's gonna jump in and get onto Deathy along with Ender. And oh my god, Baraffer's gonna get Sky too! No! The dream is... it could still be alive. Here we go, Deer going into last, but without a medic, it's gonna be really hard to defend this last point. Kairo's over here being really paranoid. They know that a spy is sort of in the vicinity right now, and here we go. Fanny throwing some stickies out onto point. Nice try push. Deer getting absolutely hammed by Space Ghost Coffee, and getting a little bit of a damage exchange going on, but you know, that was enough time for Sky to spawn and get... Nope! Nope.
Caster's curse.
Oh god. Sorry, team.
That happened again. It's going to be difficult not only to defend this for another like 4 minutes. I mean, they need to get out and get a cap, and that's going to be hard to do alone. But like just the fact that Ender has switched to level 3 and is kind of hunkered down outside that main out they've been using on that right-hand side, it's going to be difficult. But right now, full Uber advantage. Onto Carl, they're kind of poking the upper lobby, they take out Vanilla Love, they take out Kairu. Now it seems like the moment they're gonna have like all the confidence to do this.
Ooh, Saf actually getting in there onto Pals. Wait, Deathy and Saf switched classes. I'm not going crazy. That was a sticky bomb.
Yeah.
Deathy is now on Soldier, Safrix is now playing Demo, so that's totally a thing that's going on. Banny manages to take out Space Ghost Coffee with an errant pipe right there, and it's just really fighting for control of this upper lobby area, which is just great to push out of. And so Sky knows that she has a bit of an advantage going on. She's going to try and move in here, and it looks like she's just going to be pocketing her Soldier and her Demo as much as she can. Just sort of trying to get something going at least, you know? And without Banny up.
Now's the time. Scrumpergup is trying to simply go take out that sentry. They know he's there. Catsy is running around looking for him. Meanwhile, Ender's like right on top of things, but he's not going to let the thing go down. Meanwhile, I mean, as they are poking out with 3 players down. Oh dear! Taking out Seth. That's going to make things all the more difficult. But they do pop out onto Trippa only against like an entire team in a sentry gun. It just can't happen.
Oh my
this
God.
could be the death of their chances.
Oh, that was really close. But, you know, honestly, with the commitment that the other team is putting into with this level 3, it might even take them a bit longer to move in there. They're less a class on their engineers, sort of stuck back there. Can't exactly leave his nest too much. There is actually, a spy behind? The scout
Spy
behind.
and Trippa.
Trippa.
Yeah, somehow Trippa snuck back there. I don't know what he's trying to do.
I don't know. I don't know either. I'm definitely looking for big plays. He's gonna take out this teleporter. Definitely big plays.
Snuck back multiple times this map, but never actually managed to make anything. I saw twice. He actually ran over the head of a medic, just kind of being on an upper level. But he hasn't found it yet. It does look like he is getting caught up by Slendish, who... Oh, he's gonna take Slendish out.
No, not bad.
Meanwhile, back into the actual action. Looks like CK is going to come back in with this Uber, jump on point, and then take it.
Hey, he tried for the distraction, and it didn't
And he
quite
distracted the
happen.
casters. It worked. So, last round, last mid. This is pretty much all for just stat padding at this point.
Hey, there was nothing wrong with padding your stats, Insomnia.
I know, that's why I drop as many Ubers as I can.
I think that's the wrong way of padding your stats. Here we go,
No, the
solo
number's
jumping
higher.
in.
It means I'm better, I think.
That's how numbers work.
Yeah.
Solo jumping in really aggressively as per usual. Space Ghost Coffee getting really aggressive onto Pharaoh after Deer getting a pick onto Cairo pretty early, and Slundish getting in on Deathy, who I believe is still playing Soldier. Yes, he is. Here we go,
He got a
solo.
nice pick on Carl.
Getting onto Sky along with Vanny right there. That's gonna be pretty good. And with Carl down, that means nobody has heals. So honestly, I think I'm gonna put this in favor of. Oh, no. Blue team looks like they're bleeding out. There's a level 1 that nobody finally gets taken down. But are we looking at a second mid fight? I think we might be.
It looks like these mids are really hard to take, especially with, I mean, we saw level 1s this round, but most times it's mini sentries just chewing people up, and they're hard to spot because there's so many places to kind of throw them up there and hide. We saw, like, probably, I can't wait to look at the engineer damage because it's probably outrageous.
Shoutouts to Sky right now for running Quick Fix. That's interesting. I'm not really sure how that'll work out. No, there are many sentries on the other team. I think they can swing it.
entirely possible. Mainly a Kairu looks like he switched over to Scout. Some fun's being had over on the 92 Dream Team in this last 30 seconds.
I mean, Kairu can switch with Trippa, you know, it's no big deal that he's going to be taken out by Slemnish, Savric's going to be taken out by the Sentry, Banny's going to take out Little Death and Vanilla Love, Slemnish is going to just walk in here along with Solo and Catsy, and just going to take out Sky and Scruff McGruff. That is, that's a Highlander wipe for like half a second.
But we didn't actually see any of that happen, I think, the entire match, and so GG's been thrown out there. Curse of Knowledge going to take this round 2-0, take the entire match 2-0. Definitely a good fight being put out there by 92 Dream Team, though. They got really aggressive in the earlier round, and they actually gave them a run for their money, taking a round off of them in the very first round. And just, they were just, it was the Uber exchanges, and the lack of being able to capitalize on the small moments they created. Because they created 4 or 5 really good moments, but they had player advantage. They had, like, Uber advantage, maybe not full Uber all the time, but that they weren't willing to risk some of the certain moments they had.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I've been seeing a lot in chat how people are having a bit of trouble with this map, and I definitely don't doubt them.
I can see why.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I think it could do with a bit more testing, honestly, just to see on the flow and how it plays, especially those last pushes.
For the last match of the season, I was really surprised to see a map that I didn't recognize, let alone like some players that actively are playing in season after season aren't comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, always having a new map on the very last match, like, come on.
Like, come on, indeed.
Like,
I said the same thing when I first like, what? Really?
But definitely big shout outs to both teams for playing tonight. That would be Curse of Knowledge and 92 Dream Team. Congratulations, your season of Highlander is now officially over. And thank you for letting us cast your match.
Yeah, definitely had some fun, even on this strange map, this alien space that we had to play in. It was pretty exciting match. A lot of back and forth action, and thank you guys for having me as well.
Yeah, and definitely shout outs to the chat for showing up and keeping me pretty entertained throughout this match. I was as it was going on, as I forget to speak. And thank you, Kench, for being a wonderful cameraman.
Absolutely.
Any last words, Insomnia?
Get better soon, Dashner. Our hearts are with you.
Indeed. I hope you feel better. And good night, everyone.